I'll not say growing is painful. Working towards your goal needs discipline, hard work, suffering, and you have to go through it.
Hi, good evening, Vikram. How are you today? How's your week going? I heard there's so many things happening in Indosat.
Yes, a lot of action, but semangat.
Semangat. And actually, today we will be talking about leading with empathy. Because as a leader, sometimes we have to take care of the business, but at the same time, we also take care of the people as the core of the business. What do you think about that? Do you have any thought? Because I see that you have something to say about that.
Yes, not sometime. Every time you have to start with people. Every time when you are looking at business or if you're trying to solve, it has to start with people. And empathy is something which is very powerful. In my 2 decades of experience, country after country, if you can do things which are tough also, but you do it with empathy, do it with transparency, and communicate it clearly, it will really help not only you, it helps the other person also.
That's quite interesting because you say that every time you have to take care or at least consider people's perspective in terms of business because it's empathy leads to good business. Maybe that's my take out. So as I recall, Indosat is now repositioning or actually driving the company towards technology, AI native, digital native technology. Technology usually clash with people because sometimes people feels like technology can replace themselves. So how empathy plays part?
Before I get to empathy more, let me tell you, I've been investing significant time on AI. You know why? Because early adaptation of AI in Indonesia can help Indonesia move forward in the GDP growth. It can help every Indonesian. Because if the country is doing well, everyone will positively get impacted, each and every. And this is what our larger purpose is, to empower every Indonesian. When I started investing time on learning about AI, when I met some of the best and brightest mind in the world, the key learning which was common, 10% is tool, 20% is platform, 70% is people. It's the people game. So having said that, people will be more productive. It is not about replacing people. It is about human becoming more productive, better on what they do. So that is something which has been my biggest learning.
70% is a huge number. It's a significant number to becoming the fundamental of the business, even in technology. Now, as a leader, how do you incorporate that and understand in terms of the significant development of technology and then managing the stakeholders' needs and wants and then managing the people's or employees' needs and wants? Because I believe sometimes they can be clash between those three.
No, you are right. There'll be friction if you don't manage and communicate it clearly. I think it goes back to the point that, let me give you one example. When I spoke about people, today we are embedding AI across in our organization, Indosat HR, procurement, finance. There are a lot of administrative work which people were doing will now get automated. You don't need. What does that mean? That our people, our employees need to be ready for reskilling, upskilling. If they are ready, we are 100% ready to invest on them. so that we help them upskill themselves. We help them do more productive, more strategic, more challenging role. But it is not easy. They have been doing what they are doing for 5 years, 10 years. So it starts with their readiness, their willingness to change. So some of these things need to be communicated properly, and in that journey, you have to see whether the employees whom we are trying to upskill, reskill, they are ready for it. If not managed well, then friction happens. Then this insecurity that it will replace human, it will replace job. I think this has been my learning, that how do you do it with a lot of empathy, full transparency, and then you see the magic.
Yeah, that's quite interesting when you say about upscaling or rescaling. And all of that actually reflect back on how ready our talent or our people to develop, to upscale themselves as well. So if I imagine in your position, that must be challenging because at the same time you have to drive them to grow and upscale, but you also understand that growing is painful, right? So I think that's where empathy plays part.
I'll not say growing is painful. Working towards your goal needs discipline, hard work, suffering, and you have to go through it. But you only walk that journey if you believe in it, if you are passionate about it. So, that conviction of belief is important. Once you have all those things, then comes empathy. How when you are confronted with some of these difficult options. Say, for example, today you are based in Jakarta, but for you to move out of your comfort zone, you have to go to Surabaya and get based there. That conversation need to happen with a lot of empathy. We have to also hear the other side. What challenges my employee is going through? Maybe there are real challenges, there are real problem, but if you don't listen and understand with empathy, you might go wrong. So I think it has to be a very fine balance between growth, listening to your employee, and listening with a lot of empathy, and then take decision in the best interest of everyone. You have to look at it holistically.
Wow, that sounds tough. Like getting the best interest of everyone. How do you manage it?
I think when you work towards the larger purpose, so then the objectives are aligned. It is challenging. There are a lot of friction and conflict, but the common guiding principle has to be, this is what we are trying to do. And if there are friction, if you have to take difficult call, do it with utmost respect. 100% of the time, it will not get aligned. Yeah, but what is important is that you don't compromise on your larger purpose, and you be extremely careful on making sure that you are being transparent and fair, and whatever you do it with empathy. Proper empathy, listening. This is what I have learned, and that gives you so much of confidence that you can put your head up and talk to anyone.